In the late 1960s, a killer terrorized Northern California, then did something almost no other criminal in history has done. He wrote to the newspapers, taunting police, including secret codes only he could solve. Decades later, some of those codes are still unbroken. This is the story of the Zodiac Killer, a case the San Francisco Chronicle itself called the most famous unsolved murder case in American history. It began on December 20th, 1968, near Vallejo, California. Two teenagers, David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, were attacked while sitting in a parked car on a quiet road. 7 months later, another young couple was attacked in similar circumstances nearby. This time, the killer went further, calling the police himself afterward to calmly report what he'd done and to take credit for the earlier attack as well. Investigators realized quickly they weren't dealing with a random, isolated crime. Someone was choosing his targets, and he wanted people to know it was him. In August 1969, 3 Bay Area newspapers each received a letter containing part of a coded message, along with a chilling demand: print this, or there would be more killing. The killer signed his messages with a distinctive symbol, a circle with crosshairs through it, and began each letter the same way. "This is the Zodiac speaking." Included in that first batch of letters was a 408-character cipher. Within a week, an amateur code-breaking couple working from home actually managed to crack it. The decoded message revealed a disturbing, boastful mind behind the killings. In September 1969, the Zodiac attacked again, this time approaching 2 college students having a picnic at Lake Berryessa. Witnesses later described the attacker wearing a black hooded costume with the same crosshair symbol on his chest, like something out of a nightmare designed on purpose. One victim survived the attack and was able to describe the killer's disguise to police in detail. It remains one of the strangest and most theatrical moments in the entire case. A killer who seemed to be performing for an audience only he could see. On October 11, 1969, the Zodiac struck one final confirmed time, shooting a San Francisco taxi driver named Paul Stein. Afterward, he mailed the Chronicle a torn, blood-stained piece of the driver's shirt as proof, along with a chilling new threat. He claimed his next target would be a school bus full of children. That specific threat never came to pass, but it cemented the terror the Zodiac had created across an entire region and inspired one of the most famous scenes in the film Dirty Harry 2 years later. In November 1969, the Zodiac sent a new cipher, 340 characters long, demanding it be printed on the front page. This one wasn't cracked in a week. It wasn't cracked in a year. The Z340 cipher stumped professional cryptographers, the FBI, and amateur code breakers around the world for 51 years. It was finally solved in December 2020 by a team of 3 volunteers from 3 different countries using custom-built software and testing roughly 650,000 possible solutions. The message inside offered no name, no confession, just taunting and a chilling reference to the afterlife. Over the following decades, more than 2,500 people have been investigated as possible suspects. The most publicly named was Arthur Lee Allen, a former elementary school teacher who owned a watch with the Zodiac brand name and firearms matching the caliber used in the killings. He was never charged and died in 1992. Other names have surfaced over the years, some backed by circumstantial evidence, none ever conclusively proven. Even convicted killers like Ted Kaczynski have been floated as theories at various points, though never seriously substantiated. Several factors have made this case uniquely difficult. The Zodiac was careful, choosing remote locations, avoiding prolonged contact with victims, and leaving little physical evidence behind. Investigations were split across multiple police jurisdictions at a time before departments easily shared information with each other, and decades of handling, storage, and forensic limitations have degraded whatever physical evidence remains. Modern techniques like environmental DNA testing offer new hope, but so far, nothing has definitively closed the case. The Zodiac's final confirmed letter arrived at the Chronicle in 1974, in which he claimed responsibility for 37 murders total, far more than the 5 deaths police have ever been able to confirm. Then, the letter simply stopped. No one knows why for certain. Theories range from imprisonment on unrelated charges, to death, to simply losing interest in the game he'd created. The silence itself became part of the mystery. 2 of the Zodiac's 4 ciphers remain unsolved to this day. The case technically remains open, still occasionally revisited with new forensic tools by the San Francisco Police Department. Behind the mystery, the puzzles, and the pop culture fascination, real families are still waiting for answers that may never come. Sometimes, the most famous mysteries in history aren't remembered because they were solved. They're remembered because they never were.